Are you ready to shatter the chains of unforgiveness that have weighed down your soul? When you cut off this insidious evil spirit, a force that festers as bitterness, resentment, and deep-seated anger, you unlock a pathway to true healing and renewal. This hidden enemy doesn't just steal your joy, it severs the flow of God's healing grace from your life. As Proverbs 17:22 reminds us, a cheerful heart is good medicine, underscoring that forgiveness is the vital cure for the toxic effects of a hardened heart. Every unhealed wound and every grudge builds a barrier between you and the abundant life God promises. In the powerful example of Jesus on the cross, we see that forgiveness is not merely a choice but a divine command, a way to reclaim our freedom and restore our spiritual, emotional, and even physical well-being. When you decide to let go, you dismantle the stronghold of despair and open yourself to God's transformative power. Embracing forgiveness means stepping into a life where healing flows freely, replacing the burden of past pain with the light of hope and renewed strength. Have you ever noticed how a seemingly small, offhand comment can linger in your heart long after it was spoken? These tiny wounds often feel trivial at first, yet when left unaddressed, they slowly pave the way for bitterness and unforgiveness. The enemy's tactics are subtle. Each minor hurt, each dismissive glance or careless word acts like a tiny crack in our emotional armor. Over time, these cracks widen as the unhealed pain accumulates, eventually forming a barrier that distances us from joy, love, and genuine connection. Imagine a day when a friend's thoughtless remark or a co-worker's unintended slight leaves you feeling unworthy. You may dismiss it initially, but as days turn into weeks, the unspoken hurt grows. That minor offense transforms into a heavy burden, subtly shifting your perspective and hardening your heart. Bitterness takes root, and soon you find yourself trapped in a cycle of resentment that affects every relationship and dims your inner light. Recognizing these subtle tactics is crucial because it empowers you to take action before the enemy's seeds of division flourish. When you choose to confront these small offenses, acknowledging your hurt and extending forgiveness, you halt the enemy's progress. This proactive step not only restores your emotional well-being, but also opens your heart to healing and restoration. By tending to these minor wounds early on, you prevent them from evolving into a fortress of unforgiveness, allowing your spirit to remain open to love, trust, and genuine connection. Resentment often creeps into our lives without warning, starting as a natural response to hurt or betrayal. Over time, however, clinging to grudges builds an invisible wall between us and God's healing grace. Imagine constructing a barrier brick by brick, with every unresolved conflict and every unspoken hurt adding another layer. This wall doesn't simply isolate us from the people around us. It also severs our connection with the divine love that renews and restores our spirit. When we hold on to bitterness, we end up carrying an invisible backpack loaded with past pains, weighing us down and blocking the flow of grace. The hidden cost is profound. Instead of feeling light and free, we find ourselves burdened by a heaviness that colors every aspect of our daily life. We miss out on the peace and joy that come from embracing forgiveness because we're stuck in a cycle of negativity. Letting go of resentment isn't about erasing the past. It's about dismantling that barrier so healing can begin. Once we release our grip on old hurts, we open the door to restoration, inviting a more vibrant and intimate connection with God, others, and even ourselves. This liberation paves the way for spiritual growth and renewal, proving that the cost of holding on to resentment far outweighs the freedom found in forgiveness. When unaddressed hurt and lingering resentment take root, they trap us in an emotional prison, a confinement not of physical bars, but of repetitive, painful thoughts and feelings. Picture carrying an ever-growing weight, each grudge and wound adding another link to the chain that restricts your ability to fully embrace life. These unresolved emotions create a self-imposed isolation, making it hard to trust, connect, or even smile freely. The pain from past experiences casts long shadows over the present, leaving little room for joy and genuine intimacy. Every time we allow old hurts to resurface, we reinforce these chains, locking ourselves into cycles of anger and sadness that seem impossible to escape. This emotional imprisonment not only steals our happiness, but also stunts our personal growth as we become fearful of vulnerability and hesitant to open up to new possibilities. However, recognizing that these chains are of our own making is the first crucial step toward liberation. By acknowledging our pain with compassion and understanding, we begin to loosen the grip of these past wounds. Gradually, as we confront and work through our emotions, the heavy chains of unresolved pain start to break, making space for healing and renewal. In doing so, we reclaim our right to joy, deeper relationships, and a life unburdened by the past. Also, forgiveness isn't about excusing the wrong or forgetting the hurt. It's a powerful act of freeing yourself from the heavy chains of negative emotions. Imagine holding onto a stone so heavy that every step you take is burdened by its weight. When you choose to forgive, it's like setting that stone down, instantly lightening your load and opening up space for healing. This decision doesn't erase the pain of the past, but it does break the cycle of bitterness that keeps you locked in despair. Forgiveness is a deliberate, courageous act that allows love and hope to seep back into your life, replacing anger with peace and isolation with connection. It transforms painful memories into lessons that empower rather than imprison. By letting go of resentment, you free yourself from a loop of negative thoughts and emotions, allowing your heart to beat in a rhythm of renewal and joy. This emotional liberation isn't fleeting. It gradually reshapes your inner world, enabling you to forge deeper, more meaningful relationships and live more authentically. Embracing forgiveness means choosing to see beyond the wrongs committed and focusing on the healing power of grace. In doing so, you reclaim your power, inviting not just emotional recovery, but a lasting transformation that radiates hope and paves the way for a future filled with light, love, and genuine freedom. Forgiveness isn't a solo journey. It creates ripples that touch every relationship in your life. When you choose to forgive, you begin to dissolve the walls built from hurt and resentment. Think of it like tossing a pebble into a calm pond. The initial act sends waves outward, softening hardened hearts and bridging divides. This healing starts within you, but its impact quickly spreads to your family, friends, and community. Scripture reminds us in Colossians 3:13 to bear with each other and forgive one another, emphasizing that forgiveness is a mutual gift that restores trust and nurtures love. As you forgive, the tension that once separated you from loved ones fades, making room for genuine connection and empathy. Repaired relationships become a testimony to God's transformative grace, proving that forgiveness rebuilds bonds stronger than before. When conflicts resolve, hearts open, and conversations begin anew, you create an environment where healing is contagious. Each act of restored connection not only mends a personal wound, but also inspires others to embrace forgiveness, sparking a communal revival. In this way, the simple, courageous decision to forgive becomes a powerful catalyst for healing, both for you and for those around you. The ripple effect of restored relationships transforms communities into networks of support and compassion, reflecting the unconditional love and grace that God calls us to extend. Developing a forgiving heart is less about a single dramatic moment and more about daily, intentional habits that reshape your inner life. Imagine starting each day with a quiet moment of prayer, setting your intention to let go of yesterday's hurts and welcome today's fresh start. Journaling becomes a trusted companion on this journey, where you write down lingering pain, and then intentionally release it through prayerful reflection. As you meditate on Scripture, passages like Ephesians 4:32 that urge kindness and forgiveness, you slowly rewire your mindset, replacing bitterness with compassion. Simple practices such as pausing before reacting in moments of anger allow you to choose grace over grudges. Over time, these habits become a sanctuary for your spirit, creating space where empathy and understanding flourish. Even when memories of past wounds resurface, these daily disciplines remind you that forgiveness is a process, not a destination. Acknowledge your feelings, then invite God's peace to calm your heart and guide your responses. In the rhythm of daily prayer, reflective journaling, and meditative scripture reading, you nurture a forgiving heart that doesn't shy away from pain, but transforms it into strength. This continuous cycle of intentional practice not only liberates you from the chains of resentment, but also sets a powerful example for those around you, proving that forgiveness is a daily transformative choice rooted in divine love. There comes a moment when the weight of our pain seems too heavy to bear on our own, and it's precisely at that moment that inviting God's intervention becomes essential. Trusting in divine help means recognizing that healing is not solely a human endeavor. It's a partnership with a higher power who understands every hurt and broken piece of our soul. When you pray earnestly, asking for God's strength to transform your heart, you open the door to miracles. In moments of vulnerability, allow yourself to lean on His promises, just as Jesus did in the Garden of Gethsemane. Embracing divine intervention is about surrendering control and accepting that some wounds require a touch beyond our own. It means acknowledging that His love is powerful enough to heal even the deepest scars. As you invite God into your healing journey, you may begin to notice subtle changes, a lightness in your spirit, a renewed sense of hope, or even unexpected acts of kindness that reinforce His presence. This process isn't always instantaneous. It's a gradual transformation where faith and persistence meet. Over time, as you continue to rely on His guidance through prayer, worship, and the support of a loving community, your heart begins to mend. Embracing divine intervention transforms your struggle into a testimony of God's restorative power, reassuring you that you are never alone in your journey toward wholeness. Every wound tells a story, and though the pain may seem unbearable, it also offers an opportunity for profound growth. Transforming your pain into wisdom means viewing each hurt as a stepping stone on the path toward a more compassionate, resilient you. Instead of letting past injuries define you, consider them lessons that have molded your character and deepened your empathy. The Bible is replete with stories of broken lives turned into powerful testimonies, each narrative testifying to the redemptive power of God's grace. When you reflect on your experiences, you may begin to see that every trial has equipped you with unique insights, allowing you to help others navigate similar challenges. This transformation isn't about forgetting the hurt, but rather about using it as fuel for positive change. Sharing your journey of overcoming bitterness and despair can inspire those who feel trapped in their own cycles of pain. It's a reminder that healing is not a linear process, but a dynamic interplay between our struggles and our triumphs. As you embrace your scars, you empower yourself to become a beacon of hope, a living testament that through forgiveness and perseverance, pain can indeed be transformed into purpose. In this way, your story becomes a bridge for others, connecting shared experiences and lighting the way toward collective healing and growth. As we wrap up this journey, remember that even the smallest offense can plant seeds of bitterness if left unchecked. By recognizing the subtle tactics of the enemy, those hidden hurts that slowly erode our joy, we take the crucial first step toward freedom. Resentment isn't just an emotional weight. It builds a spiritual barrier that distances us from the healing grace of God. When you let go of grudges, You break the chains of unresolved pain that have imprisoned your heart. Forgiveness acts as a catalyst for emotional liberation, releasing you from cycles of negativity and opening the door to renewed intimacy and joy. This personal healing ripples outward, mending broken relationships and strengthening communities. Every act of forgiveness not only restores a connection with others, but also brings you closer to the divine love that sustains us all. Incorporating daily practices, whether it's prayer, journaling, or meditating on scripture, helps cultivate a heart that's ready to forgive. These habits invite God's intervention into your life, transforming even the deepest wounds into powerful testimonies of strength and resilience. Remember, your experiences of pain can be reshaped into wisdom and purpose, guiding not just your own path, but also lighting the way for others. Step boldly into this journey of forgiveness and healing. Let each moment of letting go be a step toward a life filled with hope, connection, and lasting peace. Thank you for exploring this path with me, and may you continue to transform your pain into purpose.